surgeon. My soul needs a friend, so I'll run to the Father again and again and again and again. Oh, oh, oh. You saw my condition, had a plan from the start. Your Son for redemption, the price for my heart. I don't have a context for that kind of love. I don't understand, I can't comprehend. All I know is I need you. I run to the Father, I fall into grace. I'm done with the hiding, the reason to wait. My heart needs a surgeon, my soul needs a friend, so I'll run to the Father again and again and again and again. Oh, 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 again and again. Oh, oh, I've just been in your sights long before my first breath, running into your arms is running to life from death. I feel this rush deep in my chest. Your mercy is calling out. Just as I am, you pull me in, and I know I need you now. I run to the Father, I fall into grace. Done with the hiding, reason to wait. My heart needs a surgeon, my soul needs a friend, so I'll run to the Father again and again. I run to the Father, I fall into grace. I'm done with the hiding, reason to wait. My heart found a surgeon, my soul found a friend, so I'll run to the Father again and again and again and again. Oh, oh, and again and again. Oh, oh, again and again. You unravel me with a melody. You surround me with a song of deliverance from my enemies, till all my fears are gone. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. Your blood flows through my veins. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. Oh, 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 oh. You split the sea so I could walk right through it. My fears were drowned in perfect love. You rescued me so I could stand and sing. I am a child of God. You split the sea so I could walk right through it. My fears were drowned in perfect love. You rescued me so I could stand and sing. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God.
Hey everybody, it's Alex with the Wesley Foundation. Thanks again for joining us for our second week of worship, whether you're at the Wesley Foundation or viewing from home or another site. Really happy that you're joining in with us this week for worship. Last week, I talked about identity. I introduced myself a little bit. This week, I am going to tell you a story about a time when I was very uncomfortable. Okay, and I've had many requests to see my two cats that I mentioned last week, Jingle and Neil. They are currently running around the house somewhere. I promise I will find them and introduce them at some point in this video. You will see Jingle and Neil. Also, I got a lot of positive feedback about Yahtzee. And I know that if you guys played Yahtzee this week, you are going to be really excited about, well, you're going to be excited about Yahtzee. I didn't really have anything else to say about Yahtzee, but maybe this is just going to turn into like a Yahtzee kind of vlog or something. Okay, so, okay, here's the story about a time when I was uncomfortable. Okay, so this is embarrassing. This is really embarrassing. Okay, when I was in high school, it was junior year of my high school, so it was prom, all right? It was prom season, and I was going to do this elaborate kind of promposal, I guess is what people would call it, and it was during the middle of the day of school. And I had this idea that I was going to, I wrote this like poem-y kind of thing for the person I was going to ask to prom to read, and then they would say yes, right? So someone gave me the bright idea that I should go ask, oh God, go ask if I could talk over the PA into the classroom of the girl I was going to ask to prom. So it was like projected into over the speakers in just her room. Okay. Well, so I'm like, oh, I'm really embarrassed. I don't know. But they said, yeah, you should do it. So I go. I ask the people in the front office. They're like, okay, I guess. Your funeral. So I get on the mic. Okay. They page into her classroom. And I start reading this corny, really cringy, poemy thing. I finish and I say, will you go to prom with me? There's like some dead air. And then someone's voice says, this is not her classroom. So, yeah, I said, sorry, and turned off the page, the intercom, and probably crumbled and died on that spot. So that is a story about me being really uncomfortable. I just shared with you all. And this week, our message is about being uncomfortable, especially in this time of COVID-19. So we're going to talk about uncomfortability and how we can use that. All right, everybody, this is cat number 1. This is Neil. Neil. Okay, this is cat number 2. This is Jingle. I lured her into a spot by leaving a blanket on the ground. What's up, Jingle? So last week I gave you a plug for Yahtzee. This week I'm giving you a plug for our small groups or missional communities. There are signups on the door next to the front door of the Wesley Foundation. These are awesome opportunities for you guys to get together in small groups, to build community, and to grow together. So come check those out or reach out to me or a student leadership team member and we'll get you set up. Okay, so today's message is about being uncomfortable, being in the wilderness, as I'll refer to it in a few minutes, and how that uncomfortability can grow us closer to the Lord and how it can make us more like Jesus. And so when we look back at the beginning of this time of COVID-19 in the early spring, things kind of happened fast, right? We experienced the toilet paper like bonanza. We saw hospitals creating makeshift space in parking garages. And there was a lot of uncertainty. There was a lot of changes happening really, really fast. And in that time where we're kind of stripped of our known, the things we know, we can feel uncomfortable. We can feel set adrift. We feel our own mortality and our anxiety. And when anxiety comes creeping in over us, it can overwhelm us like a wave. You know, we feel it just kind of bombarding us. It's normal to feel stripped bare, to be disoriented in the light of this new reality that we're living in as things change and are taken away from us. It's normal to feel very uncomfortable. Our current landscape with COVID-19 pandemic is a wilderness moment for the entire world. And when I say wilderness moment, it's because feeling uncomfortable can feel like being lost in the woods, like being set adrift from the comfort that we know, the routines, the schedules. Wilderness moments, while they look and feel scary, can also be where God meets us. In this particularly disorienting season, in this particular wilderness, we may feel abandoned, alone, and forgotten by God. The pandemic feels too big sometimes. Even as we begin to go through our own loss and anxiety, we struggle to even understand the situations of people experiencing extreme poverty or displacement, the people who seem to never arrive in a promised land of their own. What are we as Christians to do with so much suffering, injustice, sin, and death in the world? It makes us feel uncomfortable. It makes us feel anxious. It makes us grieve. We mourn. The wilderness place in the Bible is never a place of abandonment. In Genesis, Hagar runs from the abuse of her mistress, and it's in the wilderness that she meets the Lord, who she calls the God who sees me. I really like that. I really like that name for the Lord, the God who sees me. And of course, when the Israelites were delivered from slavery in Egypt, it was the wilderness wanderings that tested them and reoriented them toward God. They were provided for, and even as their resources were limited, God remained near to them. He provided manna for them in the desert. In seasons such as the one that we're in now, we find ourselves stripped of many comforts, any false sense of control, and of other illusions we might have of not needing God, as we lose the things that we're so used to. We lose the things that make us comfortable. We are pushed outside of our comfort zone. It's here in the wilderness that we're offered the chance to get to know a God who uses his power on behalf of his people, a God who hems us in with love and courage. It's here in the wilderness where all of our comforts, all of our idols are removed from us, where we feel the presence of the Lord, where we draw so close to him and his comfort, his love, his healing. He says, "Fear not, for I am with you." Even in these times of trouble, I am with you. And I think that there is something powerful about removing our known attachments, removing our comforts, and just embracing the simple truth of who God is, and that he is enough, that his love sustains us, and that he provides for us. I know that I make myself so busy with the things that I enjoy, with my comforts, that I don't leave space for God inside that equation. And something I'm noticing during this time of quarantine is that when I have felt afraid, it's because I don't know what's next. But the thing is that when I don't know what's next, that opens doors up for God to make things possible. It opens up my eyes to things that I hadn't seen before, to how God was present in my life, to how God was moving and active. And it's a really beautiful place to be. It's a hard place to be because it requires us to step outside of our comfort zone. You know, the wilderness, the uncomfortableness, the anxiety, it reveals to us the truth of the gospel in that God takes us from a place where we are. We're removed of the things that make us comfortable, and we're reoriented on to his truth, his love, his power. We, a lot of times, want to skip that disorienting part. We want to skip the hard part, the desert, so that we can just go right to the new part. Hey, God, I don't feel near to you. Please just be near to me, right? And we want to skip the part where we say, God, I want to be near to you. That's going to require me to reassess and reprioritize and get rid of some stuff so that I can feel and draw near, so I can feel closer and draw near to you. We want to skip that middle part. That's the hard part. That's the uncomfortable part. I know a lot of times will replace times when I'm feeling uncomfortable with food or video games or movies or TV, and so that I don't have to feel uncomfortable. But we have to remember that it's okay to venture forth into the wilderness. It's okay to feel uncomfortable, because in the Bible, that's never the end of the story. Even in Jesus' own wilderness temptation, when he goes up on the mountain and Satan tries to make a deal with him, Satan says, I will take away all of this. I will give you everything you want. I will give you power. I will give you comfort if you will just worship me. Right? That's the deal. Don't worry about the hard part. Don't encounter difficulty. Just skip straight to comfort. But that's not how Jesus lived his life. That's not how Jesus teaches us to live our life. He doesn't teach us to turn our eyes away from things that are uncomfortable. He asks us to embrace those things, to embrace suffering even, so that we can become more like him, so we can grow, so we can see the world through his eyes. So I'll ask a couple questions and we'll try to figure out a way to take a moment to think about it. Can I grow without struggle? How does God use loss or uncomfortability to make me more like Jesus? Think about those questions for a second.